Welcome back to my channel. In this video, a palm color man who has lived in Palestine reveals a lot of things that happened there. Now, he first starts by stating how he could claim citizenship in Israel anytime, even without having to step foot in Israel, at the expense of 6 million people whose origins are in what is now known as Israel or Palestine, who are denied the right to return to their home. Now, objectors to a Palestinian right of return contend that such a right would destroy Israel as a Jewish state, as it would leave Jews a minority in Israel. Now, in a two-state framework, this would leave Israel as a binational state with a Jewish minority with an additional Palestinian state. Remember to subscribe so that you don't have to miss on our interesting videos. Check this clip out as this palm color man spills a lot of truth in this video. I will be right back with more details to this, and when I do, we talk more about this issue.
If I was Jewish and had never stepped foot in Israel, I could claim citizenship there tomorrow, but 6 million people whose origins are in what you now call Israel, who were forced out in 1947 or 48, do not have that right. Because you deny them the right to return to their homes and to their land and to their villages, and that they have a legitimate claim, even under international law, to return, but you deny them that right. Why do you deny them that right? And why do you give that right to other people who have no connection whatsoever with the land, whether you call it Israel or whether you call it Palestine? Now, why don't you just admit that Hamas didn't exist when the first Intifada took place, but the ordinary Palestinians rose up because you denied them basic rights. I lived there. It was uptight. It was endemic. It was rotten. Are you not just taking us, Ambassador, that you can say with a straight face, we're serious about peace, but while we're serious about peace, we're going to seize Palestinian land? Well, what they've asked for is to lift the siege of Gaza. Just to lift the siege of Gaza. Let them have an airport. Let them have ports. Let them not be dictated to by a government for whom they do not vote as to what can go in and out of their territories, whether they will have power, whether they will have clean water, whether they will have medicine. What makes you think you're allowed to have nuclear weapons and the fourth biggest army in the world and visit destruction on the people of Gaza, but they have no right to defend themselves?
Now, Israel's failure to respect the right to return for Palestinians who were forced to flee their homes in 1948 is a flagrant violation of international law that has fueled decades of suffering on a mass scale for Palestinian refugees across the region. More than 70 years after the conflict that followed Israel's creation, the Palestinian refugees who were forced out of their homes and dispossessed of their land as a result continue to face the devastating consequences. There can be no lasting solution to the Palestinian refugee crisis until Israel respects Palestinian refugees' right to return. Now, many have been forced to live their entire lives in overcrowded camps in dire conditions and are denied access to essential services. Palestinian refugees in Lebanon, Jordan, and the occupied Palestinian territories are trapped in a cycle of deprivation and systematic discrimination with no end in sight. For many of them, life is full of suffocating restrictions and has become a living hell. Now, the right of return is a universal right that is binding under international law, enjoyed by every people regardless of where they come from. The idea of universal rights is an ancient one, but one of its first international expressions is found in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was proclaimed by the United Nations in 1948 as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations. One of the core rights set out in the UDHR is the right of return. Article 13b of the UDHR states everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. Palestinian refugees are entitled to this binding universal right in the same way that all other refugees are, whether they come from Bosnia, Rwanda, South Africa, or anywhere else. Now, in spite of ill-founded and quite frankly art-to-the-cyst arguments concerned with denying this universal right to them, the United Nations has frequently insisted on its particular applicability to Palestinian refugees who constitute the world's largest refugee population. Now, citizenship is a legal status in the country, determines the individual's relationship with the country and the fabric of rights and obligations arising from the relationship. There are countries where holding additional citizenship is prohibited, and there are countries that welcome it and see additional citizenship as an aid to the country's economy and culture. Citizens of the State of Israel are not prevented from holding additional citizenship or trying to obtain another citizenship, but a person who is naturalized not according to the law of return must renounce his previous citizenship. In the State of Israel, there are several ways to gain citizenship by virtue of the law of return, by virtue of living in Israel, and by virtue of birth. Now, you might wonder why citizenship is given to someone who has not even stepped foot in Israel before, but is denied to people whose origins are in what is now known as Israel or Palestine. Why are they denied the right to return to their homes? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.